Hi everyone, Matthew here at AAWeatherWatch, taking a look at the weather through the course of the coming week, Monday the 6th through to Friday the 10th of November, and a fairly typical period of weather for the time of year. Fairly changeable weather, spells of wet weather certainly expected at times, but equally there will be some drier weather too, along with some chilly nights as well. Relatively mild at times, but equally again in keeping with the changeable theme, there will be some colder nights, particularly Tuesday night through into Wednesday, and then we are expected to see a more pronounced change to colder conditions from the northwest to the end of the working week, and that signals a pretty cold weekend as things stand next weekend too. Satellite imagery showing quite a broad region of clouds stretching way to the north and also to the southwest of the country. That is a fairly active weather system that will bring increasingly wet and windy conditions into the extreme north and west through the rest of Monday, whereas further south and east a lot of dry weather, but essentially all areas will see a spell of wet weather this evening and overnight into Tuesday, before essentially this clearer region of cloud here, some speckled cloud showing a mixture of clearer spells and showers, will follow through into Tuesday. If we just take a look at satellite and rainfall radar imagery, you can see cloud developing from the west now in association with that weather system. There's the wet weather approaching from the west. It has been a relatively dry start, mind, but again, increasing amounts of cloud now are expected, and in particular the further north and west you are, then it will become increasingly wet and windy through Monday. The further south and east you are, then generally remaining predominantly dry. So let's take a look at the all-important forecast charts now to put the details onto the weather through the course of the coming week, and again through the rest of Monday. There's the wet weather, the band of wet weather approaching from the north and west. So by the time we get to the middle of the afternoon and through into Monday evening, again many northern and western areas seeing some persistent moderate and heavy rain at times, but the further south and east you are, yes, it will be cloudy and quite breezy, if not windy, but it should still be predominantly dry. However, into the evening and overnight, you can see that wet weather spreads south and east across all areas. Certainly some heavy rain, some locally large rainfall totals, certainly totting up across more central, southern and eastern areas overnight. You can see that exemplified by the brighter colours on the latest forecast chart. So again, a pretty wet night ahead as that wet weather sinks southwards, and it may well just be lingering across some extreme eastern and southeastern areas first thing on Tuesday morning, but otherwise the wet weather will clear away, and thereafter it is an improving scenario through Tuesday. Yes, scattered showers will follow into more northern and western areas, perhaps some locally heavy showers here, but otherwise again it will be an improvement after the wet weather of overnight tonight and through into Tuesday morning. Some brighter sunny spells, especially across central, southern and eastern areas, as you can see through the course of Tuesday afternoon. Predominantly dry with some sunshine, but again further north and west showery weather develops, and it will be a chilly day in a moderate to fresh west or northwesterly wind. Now into Tuesday evening and overnight, and most of those showers die away, and with some clear spells, Tuesday night could well be one of the coldest nights of the week. Certainly a risk of some frost. Again, some uncertainties over that due to cloud amounts, but essentially through into Wednesday morning, particularly in the countryside, and the further east you are, then it could be quite a cold start with again some frost possible. However, into Wednesday and the changeable weather continues. A weather system approaches from the west, as you can see, so after a mainly dry start on Wednesday morning, increasingly cloudy and damp conditions then spread eastwards through the course of Wednesday afternoon and into Wednesday evening. So this is the weather chart for around about 6 o'clock on Wednesday evening. You can see wet weather in association with a weather front moving eastwards through the day. So Wednesday is essentially a reasonably dry start, perhaps again with some frost, but then generally becoming mostly cloudy, breezy, and with outbreaks of rain moving eastwards. Now, through towards the end of the week, the wet weather on Wednesday evening and Wednesday night clears away, and as things stand, Thursday, in keeping with this changeable theme, is expected to be predominantly dry. There could be a few showers perhaps across parts of the north, but otherwise, again, a predominantly dry day with some brighter intervals, but equally quite a lot of cloud is expected through the day, as you can see. So not a bad day on Thursday after the wet weather on Wednesday. Now, through towards the end of the week, end of the working week, as we move into Friday, and we are likely to see a spell of wet and windy conditions arrive from the west and northwest. Some uncertainty over just how wet and windy it will become on Friday, but all areas are likely to see a spell of wet and windy conditions moving south and east through the course of Friday morning at the moment, but then with an improvement through the afternoon and into Friday evening. However, it is behind this weather system, essentially within this region. If I just highlight where the weather front will be, essentially within this region here, This is the weather chart for the middle of the day. The weather front clears away to the southeast of the country, and following on behind, you can see we do have a change in wind direction in association with the isobars. The isobars change to more of a northwesterly, and that does mean colder conditions will filter in behind this weather system to end the week, and that then signals, as things stand of course, a pretty chilly weekend next weekend. Certainly a risk of some fairly widespread frosts and perhaps some scattered showers, so a cold end to the week is currently expected. If we just take a quick look now at the latest temperature forecast through the course of the coming week, and this afternoon temperatures not far from average for the time of year, highs around about 9 to 12 degrees Celsius or so. Temperatures this evening and overnight dropping away, perhaps a slightly chilly night tonight, 3, 4 or 5 degrees in the countryside. However, through into Tuesday morning, temperatures do recover, and our highs on Tuesday generally around about 6, 7 or 8 degrees, so certainly a little bit lower than compared with Monday, so a chillier day is expected on Tuesday. Now again, it is Tuesday evening and overnight into Wednesday, where temperatures may well fall low enough, as you can see, particularly across some central and eastern areas. Minimum temperatures perhaps just 1, 2 or 3 degrees. So again, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, a risk of frost. Temperatures do recover through the course of Wednesday. Highs again near to average 7 to 11, perhaps even a little higher across some western areas as we progress through Wednesday afternoon. And we end the working week. Essentially, Thursday could well be the mildest day of the week. Maximum temperatures maybe 11 to 13 degrees Celsius on Thursday. But if I just highlight that drop in temperatures by the time I get to Friday, it could well be a mild start to Friday. But again, as you can see, temperatures drop away from the northwest, perhaps just 6, 7 or 8 degrees through the course of Friday afternoon. And then that leads on to a pretty chilly night on Friday night and into the start of next weekend. So let's finalise that in our weekly weather summary. Clearly a lot going on with the weather, a very changeable week ahead. As ever, further updates on Wednesday will obviously iron out any issues with the details for Thursday and Friday, and I'll be back with you of course on Friday for the weekend weather forecast. But looking at Monday, through the rest of the day, turning wet and windy across the north and west, but mainly dry further south and east, but all areas seeing heavy rain into Monday night. Through into Tuesday, perhaps a little bit of early rain across parts of the south and east, but that clearing to colder, chillier conditions with sunshine and showers, these most frequent across the north and west, and fairly cold on Tuesday night with a possible frost too. So a reasonable start to Wednesday, perhaps frosty, but then becoming wet and windy from the west. Drier on Thursday, ahead of then further wet and windy weather on Friday, but then that being followed by colder and showery conditions later in the day as winds become northwesterly. So that's all the details for the week ahead. Again, I'll be back with you on Wednesday, just fine-tuning those details for Thursday and Friday. And as ever, I'll be back on Friday too for the weekend forecast. So thanks very much for tuning in and have a great week.